Anal. Knocking at the back door. Going for the old fudge packer. Shooting one into the cornhole. Okay. In this video, I'm gonna cover all of the basics about anal. I'm gonna handle all of the things you don't do to all of the things you do. Am I right? Okay, it's Caitlin, your sex coach, here to pump you up for anal. That was supposed to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. That was awful, so I apologize ahead of time. For that, the rest of this is gonna be better, I promise. Okay, so thing and tip number one is going to be use lube, my friend. Okay, and you're gonna need this. This is not a want. Sometimes when we're doing penis and vagina sex, that is want. It's like, oh, lube would feel extra good. It could be an extra like sexy thing. No, when you're doing anal, this is a need. Why is it a need? Well, because your butthole does not produce any type of lubrication whatsoever. So let's compare a pussy to a slug. So the slug is like juicy, and it looks like if you rubbed your finger against it, it would be slimy and it'd be smooth. It'd rub against it and it'd be real slick. Well, your butthole is basically like an aardvark. Okay, it's gonna be rough. That little aardvark over there, he needs some help, right? He needs some lotion. He needs some TLC, right? So when you are doing anything with anal, remember, you got to use lube. Also, go slow, okay? I feel like I have this tip in a lot of different videos, but going slow is super key when it comes to anal. And I suggest using your tongue is really good because remember what we just talked about? Buttholes are not self-lubricating, and your mouth and your tongue has saliva in it, right? So you're lube monster right here. So rimming can be really good when you're new to anal. So rimming is where you run your tongue around the asshole in a circular motion, or you can do it, or you can just do kind of like an up and down kind of motion. Just use your tongue to lick all around. Now, if you are new to anal, you may not be completely ready to just stick your face and your tongue into someone's butthole. That's totally fine. We can start with just one finger, just one single finger, okay? So lube it up, remember? Put some lube on that finger and press your finger against their butthole and move it in a circular motion. Do this really slowly, very slowly. And actually, something cool that you can do if you have rough hands, if your hands are like the aardvark, you can put on gloves and then try stroking your finger around their asshole. The reason why gloves are good is because if you didn't find that you had a hangnail or maybe you just have rough skin, using a glove with some lube can feel really good. It can feel really slick, really slippery. So when you are using your finger to lightly, gently press around the asshole, you feel for it to open up. Kind of, you let it kind of come to you, open up, blossom up. Another thing you can do is use toys. Did you know that you can train your butthole? Yeah, you actually can. The same way that you can learn to do the splits in yoga over time, you can gain flexibility in your butthole. It takes time and determination, okay? So you wanna go very slow, and I highly suggest using an anal training kit. So these are super cool. They're gonna have 2 to 3 different anal plugs in the kit. I'll put a link to an anal training kit in the show or in the notes on YouTube. So if you want to try this, I've got a link for you. When it comes to anal training, you want to start with the smallest plug and give yourself time. Use that a couple of times, the small one, until you feel like you're comfortable with it. And then graduate to the middle plug and then go on up to the bigger plug, right? And this is going to get you ready for having penis inserted into the butthole playtime. It can get messy. Okay, this guy's a little extreme. He's wiping the mess around his face. He loves it. You know, you don't have to get that extreme, but do make peace with the fact that there could be poop, okay? If you want to do anal, just make peace with it, okay? Sex is messy and it's also worth it. Exploring is worth it. Other things that you can do to deal with it being messy is lay down a towel, okay? Okay, there's a specific order of operations for how to have anal sex. So once you've trained and you've put a finger in, you've put 2 fingers in, now you're actually finally getting a dick in there or some type of pegging device, right? A dildo. You don't want to go from vagina to the asshole and then back to the vagina. Okay, so it's okay to go from vagina to asshole, but it is never okay to go from asshole to vagina. Why is that? Well, it's because if you have got poop on your cock from having anal sex and then you put that into a vaginal canal, that can really cause bacteria, right? That can cause infections. You don't want that to happen to your partner. You don't want to give them an infection. So just remember that. An easy way to keep from having an infection like this is to utilize condoms. So maybe you wear a condom when you're doing anal and then you take it off when you're having penis and vagina sex, or the other way around, right? This way you can make sure that there's no contamination, or just go wash your dick off in between. Planning. You gotta plan anal. This is not a spur of the moment kind of thing. It's not like, hey baby, I just had this idea. Can I stick my finger and dick into your butthole? No, you gotta think about it ahead of time, right? You don't wanna take your girl out on a Mexican taco date night with chili bean burritos and then try to have anal, right? You might have wanted to go for a salad instead, or maybe you have sex before you eat. That's another way to do things. Also, I would recommend asking your partner when they feel physically the most ready for something like that. They know themselves best. So maybe in the morning, they feel they're the most empty or they feel the most clean. Or, you know, maybe it's after they've worked out and they've had a shower. Ask them when they're feeling the best for something like this. Here's a big deal. It is not like porn. So anal sex in real life is not like porn. It's just like how any sex in real life is not like porn. So definitely in porn, there is no lube. They just stick things into assholes and then they immediately slide. That is not real life, okay? You gotta use lube. They're not showing you that there's another guy off camera who's like lubing up the cock for them, right? So you are not a porn star. If you are a porn star, well then great. But you also still need to use lube. They're using lube. They're just using tricks of the camera to make it seem like they're not using it. Also, they have really fast entries. You can just shove it in and it seems like it's like, okay, I'm ready. And that wasn't that hard. In real life, entering into a butthole is going to be slow. So slow. Very, 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 very slow. Very easy. Very slow. Okay. Other things that are different from porn to real life. In porn, it looks like all women like it, or most women like it, right? Where they're just like, oh, I love that. That's great. Well, you know what? Not all people are gonna like this. Just because you saw it in a porn doesn't mean that your partner's gonna want it. So definitely don't pressure them, okay? You never wanna pressure somebody to do something sexually because that is the quickest way to never get it, okay? You gotta communicate when it comes to anal. So this is new for you and it's very likely pretty new for your partner. So if you have been having normal penis and vagina sex for a while, you kind of understand the mechanics. You understand like when you're going too hard, or you understand the body and how it works. Now, this is the first time you are doing anal, so you don't know how your partner's gonna react and you really don't know what you're doing yet. So that's okay, but it's important to overly communicate. You definitely want to ask as many questions as possible and ask for feedback, right? So with your partner, say like, is this too fast? You let me know if this is uncomfortable at any moment. Like, I'm listening to you, I'm paying attention. Don't have loud music on to where you can't hear what they're saying, right? Don't be so drunk that you're not paying attention. Don't be so high or screwed up that you're not paying attention. I really recommend, just only a light buzz if you're gonna do this for the first time. It is better to be safe than sorry. So sticking your dick or an object into someone's butthole and then that causing damage to them is gonna be really annoying. And you don't want to mess up your partnership. You don't want to mess up your fuck buddy. You don't want, you want to make sure that you're not going to hurt the person that you're with. Because here's the truth. With anal, if you are not thoughtful about it, it can cause pain. Nobody wants pain with sex. I mean, if you want pain with sex, that may be more of like a BDSM type thing. And if they didn't ask for pain, you don't want to cause pain. Okay. Condoms are more important with anal than the vaginal sex because STIs are more likely, and this is because buttholes are just they're tighter. So when you stick something in them, they rip easier, and this means that you are going to be more exposed to blood and other STIs from the partner that you are hooking up with. So, condoms. All right, I am your sex coach, Caitlin Claire. I make a lot of videos like this. Subscribe if you want to see more. Also, follow me on Pornhub. I have a lot of funny videos. I actually have a porn show where we make fun of pornography. It's hilarious. And if you have a question, shoot me a DM on Twitter or Instagram. I answer all of them. All right, bye.